For today's lesson, we have here our objectives. So letter A, identify the different internet threats. Letter B, explain the severity and risks of these internet threats. And letter C, demonstrate proper ways to handle internet threats and how to avoid and prevent them from causing harm. Before we start the class, please lead the prayer, Miss Ariadne. So let's bow our heads and feel the presence of the Lord. Thank you for leading the prayer. So, good morning, class. Again, I can't hear you. Good morning, class. Very good. So, how are your weekends? Good? Now, so please settle down, everyone. Now, I'm going to check your attendance. Class secretary, who is the absent for today's class? None? Excellent. So, keep up the good work, everyone. Before we start for today's discussion, let's have a brief recap of our previous discussion last Friday. So, who wants to share? Yes, Mr. Francisco, you raised your hand. Very good, Mr. Francisco. Indeed, you learned about our last discussion. Now, moving on. But before I forgot, the classroom seems disorganized. So, we should keep our classroom clean in order to learn effectively. So, please arrange the chairs properly, pick up the trash under your chairs, and put the unnecessary materials inside your bags. And no one is allowed to use cell phones during class. Please remember the classroom rules posted on the wall, everyone. So, are we clear, class? Clear? Okay. So now, proceed. I have here a short activity to lift up your spirits and of course to test your knowledge regarding our topic for today. So I want you to find a partner, brainstorm, and make a very short poem or a simple slogan on what are the things that may cause harm online. So I will give you 10 minutes to accomplish the task. Right after, you're going to submit it to me and I will not accept late outputs. So please manage your time and work efficiently. So any questions? Clarifications? None? Well then, you can start working now. I have received all the papers, no late submissions. So excellent work, everyone. Hope you will keep doing this till the end of this school year. So now, class, let us formally start our discussion. So listen carefully, sit straight, eyes on the projector, and no talking among yourselves. So now we are going to talk about the internet. I know that you are very familiar with the word internet since you use it every day, not just in your entertainment but for other purposes such as educational purposes. So the internet is very useful not just in communication. So if you list down the advantages and benefits of the internet, there are certainly many things to list. But it is also important to remember that it is natural that the internet has a fair share of the harmful things it can cause and all its advantages. So now, class, we are going to discuss about the most common internet threats, some of which is what we call a malware. So a malware refers to a malicious software designed to harm, exploit, or damage systems. Examples of these are the viruses, worms, ransomware, and spyware. So these programs can steal sensitive information, encrypt files for ransom, or cause system crashes on your laptop, cell phone, tablet, and etc. So to protect yourself, it is important, class, to use antivirus software and avoid downloading files from untrusted sources and keep your software up to date. So always remember to download antivirus apps in your cell phones, laptops, and etc. because it helps you to prevent from being attacked by these malware such as, the viruses, the worms, the ransomware, and the spyware that can harm your internet life, or better yet, even harm your life in reality because it can invade your space, it can access to your private information. Now, let's tackle about phishing. So what is phishing? So phishing is a fraudulent attempt to trick individuals into providing sensitive information such as your passwords or credit card details, typically through deceptive emails or websites. So these can lead to identity theft, financial loss, and unauthorized access to accounts. So to avoid class falling victim into phishing, verify first the authenticity of the sender, refrain from clicking on suspicious links, and enable multi-factor authentication whenever possible. So remember, class, to avoid clicking unidentified links or suspicious links, and avoid accessing into unsecured websites. Or better yet, avoid opening suspicious emails from anonymous persons that you are not familiar with. So moving on, now we are going to talk about hacking. So hacking is also one of the most common internet threats. I know that you are very familiar with this word hacking, because I know some of you might have experienced being hacked from hackers. So hacking involves unauthorized access to systems or accounts with the intent to steal, alter, or destroy data. So the consequences of hacking include data loss, service disruption, and private violation. So to protect yourselves, class, from hackers, use strong and unique passwords. Class, you must remember to use strong and unique passwords, not just your date of birth, your parents' name, or your parents' date of birth, but a very strong and unique passwords. Another thing is setting up firewalls and encrypting your network to enhance security. So always remember that, class. Moving on, now we have here identity theft. So identity theft occurs when someone uses another person's information without consent, often for fraudulent purposes. So these can lead to financial damage, legal issues, and loss of reputation. So to protect your identity, class, you need to safeguard your personal data, adjust privacy settings, and monitor your accounts for any suspicious activities. So the most common examples of these is when you steal someone's identity on Facebook and use it to take advantage of their family, their friends, so that you can get something from them. So we have here another internet threats. We have cyberbullying. So it involves online harassment, threats, or intimidation, often through social media or messaging platforms. So this type of online abuse can cause emotional harm, mental health problems, and relationship issues. So to combat cyberbullying, report and block abusive users, practice kindness online, and promote proper etiquette. So cyberbullying, class, is also very common internet threat. So I think the most common example of this is what we call the online keyboard warriors, or when someone speaks ill or spreading fake rumors about someone to damage their reputation, or just for fun to create attention for themselves, to seek attention for themselves. So they want to bash someone, to create lies so that they can destroy someone's reputation and cause harm to them. So this is what we call cyberbullying. So class, if you ever experience cyberbullying, please block those horrible bashers, horrible users that take advantage of your kindness to ruin your reputation, to cause harm on your mental health. Now let's have data breaches. So data breaches occur when unauthorized parties gain access to sensitive information stored by organizations or individuals. So the fallout from a data breach can include the exposure of personal data, financial losses, and a loss of trust in the affected organization. So to prevent data breaches, use secure networks, apply encryption to sensitive data, and limit data sharing. So this class is very common when it comes to a company or organizations or agencies that keeps their sensitive information. Next is we also have fake news and misinformation. So it is very, very, very common online to receive fake news and misinformation from untrusted people. So fake news and misinformation are deliberate attempts to spread false or misleading information online. So this can erode trust, cause public panic, and mislead people into making uninformed decisions. So to combat fake news by fact-checking information from reliable sources before sharing it or believing it. So also remember, class, that what you see on the internet or online cannot be trusted, and it could be fake news or misinformation. So do not trust blindly, and always fact-check your information. So to test your understanding for the discussion, please answer this short multiple choice quiz in your 1/2 sheet of paper. So we'll give you 5 minutes to answer. This quiz is very simple, and I expect that you will finish this quickly. Question number 1. What is a malware and how can it affect your device? Letter A, a type of software that improves system performance. Letter B, a malicious software that harms or exploits systems. Letter C, a harmless software update. And letter D, a program designed to speed up internet browsing. Question number 2. Which of the following is an example of phishing? So, letter A, receiving an email with a suspicious link asking for personal details. Letter B, installing antivirus software on your device. Letter C, browsing a secure website with HTTPS. And letter D, backing up your files to an external drive. Question number 3. What is hacking? Letter A, the authorized maintenance of a computer system. Letter B, unauthorized access to systems or accounts. Letter C, a harmless way to test a new software. Letter D, a method of encrypting files for security purposes. For question number 4, how can you recognize an online scam? Letter A, it is often offers deals or prices that seems too good to be true. Letter B, it requires you to verify your identity through legitimate channels. Letter C, it only occurs on social media platforms. And letter D, it guarantees safe transactions through secure payment methods. Question number 5. What is identity theft? Letter A, the theft of a physical ID card. Letter B, unauthorized use of someone else's personal information for fraudulent purposes. Letter C, creating multiple online accounts for personal use. And letter D, a legal way to impersonate someone online. Number 6, which of the following is a good practice to prevent cyberbullying? Letter A, respond aggressively to online abuse. Letter B, share personal details on public platforms. Letter C, block and report abusive users. And letter D, using privacy settings on social media. Number 7, what is a data breach? Letter A, unauthorized access to sensitive information. Letter B, the act of deleting unnecessary data. Letter C, the purchase of a new storage device. And letter D, a planned update to enhance data security. Number 8, how can you avoid falling for a fake news? Letter A, share any news that seem important. Letter B, check information against reliable sources before sharing. And letter C, trust all news on social media. Letter D, forward information received from unknown sources. Question Number 9. What is a ransomware? Letter A, a type of software that protects your data. Letter B, malware that encrypts files and demands payment for access. Letter C, a tool to recover lost data. Letter D, an app designed to organize files. And question number 10. What is a common tactic used in social engineering attacks? Letter A, sending an official message from a verified account. Letter B, manipulating individuals into revealing sensitive information. And letter C, encrypting all outgoing emails for privacy. Letter D, providing free antivirus tools for users. So that's all of it for my short quiz. Now that we already tested your knowledge regarding our discussion and taking a quiz, I want you to ask a few questions, starting with Mr. Lucas at the back. Mr. Lucas, what have you learned from the discussion? Okay, how about Miss Hermione? How about you? What is your understanding regarding cyberbullying? Very good. So give them a round of applause, please. Moving on. Now that we have tackled the lesson and took note of the important details, we should remember to avoid these harmful internet threats. Who can summarize the highlights and key points? Anyone? Yes, Miss Persephone. Stand up. Very good. How about you, Miss Elizabeth? Very good, very good. So, to further test your understanding for today's topic, let's have a group activity. So, I will divide the class into 4 groups through counting. Make a role play about the internet threats. Make sure to show the relationship of these internet threats to our everyday life. So, I will give you 20 minutes to decide and practice. So, great job, everyone. You really understood the lesson for today. Group 3 got the highest score, Group 1 and Group 4 were tied for the second highest score, and Group 2 got the lowest. Nevertheless, you still did a good job, Group 2. For the last activity for today's class, please answer this in a 1/2 crosswise sheet of paper. So answer the questions briefly and clearly. Number 1, explain 2 ways to prevent phishing attacks. Number 2, what is identity theft and how does it impact an individual? Number 3, name 1 way to protect your online accounts from hackers and describe how it works. Number 4, describe the impact of cyberbullying on individuals. And lastly, number 5, why is it important to check for HTTPs on a website before entering sensitive information? So you must answer this for 5 minutes. And now, for our assignment, just copy and answer the question and submit it tomorrow during our subject period. So, goodbye class. That's it for today's lesson. Class dismissed.